In today's digital age, our interests are often piqued by search trends and viral topics, leading us down rabbit holes of captivating discoveries. Recently, a seemingly innocuous search term has skyrocketed in popularity: Euphrates River. Why? What's driving people from all corners of the world to seek information about this ancient river? And why now? The answer lies in a confluence of history, geography, recent discoveries, and biblical prophecies. The Euphrates River, with its rich tapestry of history woven into its waters, is not just any river. It is the artery of life in the Fertile Crescent, a region hailed as the cradle of civilization. From ancient Mesopotamia to biblical narratives, the river's significance is underscored repeatedly, marking it as a bedrock of historical accounts from bygone eras. The mighty river courses through the heart of the Middle East, crossing nations like Turkey, Syria, and Iraq, bearing witness to the countless civilizations that have risen and fallen along its banks. Yet, in recent times, a change has come over the Euphrates, one that is both startling and mystifying. Its once full-bodied and flowing waters have receded dramatically, revealing parts of its bedrock that have been concealed for millennia. In this diminishing expanse of water, discoveries have emerged that have left archaeologists and historians astounded. Ancient ruins, long buried beneath layers of deposit and water, are now accessible, revealing secrets of a past long forgotten. Furthermore, the appearance of a cave has fueled curiosity, igniting imaginations about the tales it might hide within its shadows. But there's another layer to this renewed interest in the Euphrates that ventures into the realm of the spiritual. The Bible, in its profound and often mysterious ways, speaks of end-times events that some argue are tied to this very river. The profound spiritual aspects tied to the Euphrates River take center stage in the biblical book of Revelation. Among the many prophecies in this book, Revelation 9:13-14 contains a particularly mysterious and evocative future event. Revelation 9:13-14. And the sixth angel sounded, and I heard a voice from the four horns of the golden altar which is before God, saying to the sixth angel which had the trumpet, "Loose the four angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates." These verses provide a chilling notion, suggesting that at some undisclosed location along the vast stretch of this ancient river, four celestial beings remain bound, awaiting a divine moment for their release. Visualize for a moment the twisting riverbed of the Euphrates, winding its way through ancient lands. It is a sobering thought that at a hidden point, unknown to humanity, there are four powerful angels are held in chains, silent, waiting, confined. Their existence and the impending moment of their release hint at the gravity of events yet to unfold. What makes their binding so significant is the nature of their intended purpose once they are set free. Biblical scholars and enthusiasts alike have always marveled at the mysteries hidden deep within our world, as the scriptures often allude to the unseen, powerful, and sometimes daunting entities residing just out of humanity's perception. The Bible reveals to us that there are creatures, angels, and spirits dwelling in the realms beneath our feet. As such, the binding of these four angels in the Euphrates adds to the enigmatic narrative that the spiritual and physical worlds are far more intertwined than we might ever fully comprehend. Their anticipated release during the end times serves as a testament to the magnitude and intricacies of God's grand design. From the unfolding events of the seals in Revelation 6, which bring about the four horsemen of apocalypse, who each come for conquest, war, famine, and death, to the ensuing silence in heaven, to the sounding of the seven trumpets, the emergence of Apollyon the Destroyer, and leading up to the pouring of the seven bowls of God's wrath, one overarching truth stands firm: God remains sovereign. No matter how chaotic, devastating, or seemingly random these events might appear to humanity, they are all part of a meticulous plan, choreographed by the divine. At no juncture in the prophetic end, times does evil gain complete control. Instead, each event, including the release of the angels, is either permitted or proclaimed by God, a reminder of his omnipotence and supreme authority over creation. Notice that these angels in the Euphrates River do not escape or break free. No, they are set free. However, today we are not focusing on these four angels. We are going to focus on the drying up of the Euphrates River, a river that has flowed since the dawn of civilization, now undergoing transformation, underlines the very nature of change, impermanence, and God's eternal plan unfolding before our eyes. As the waters of the Euphrates lower, a growing number of biblical scholars believe we might be witnessing the literal unfolding of biblical prophecies before our very eyes. Such claims aren't taken lightly. After all, the Euphrates isn't just a geographical landmark. It's deeply intertwined with scriptural narratives, making any significant change to its state a matter of profound spiritual contemplation. We live in a time where the ancient and the modern, the tangible and the spiritual, intersect in ways we could have never imagined. Our globalized world means that a river drying up in one part of the world doesn't just affect the local ecosystem or the neighboring communities. Its implications ripple outwards, touching the lives and beliefs of millions, possibly billions, worldwide. As we delve deeper into this topic over the next few chapters of this series, we will explore the history, the prophecies, and the present-day events surrounding the Euphrates River. For now, remember this: rivers have always been more than just bodies of water. They are carriers of history, of life, of mysteries, and, in the case of the Euphrates, perhaps even prophecies. And that, dear friends, is why everyone is Googling the Euphrates River. Chapter 1. The Prophetic Waters of Jeremiah 50:38. As we tread deeper into the tapestry of the Euphrates River's historical and spiritual significance, we come across a pivotal junction, the prophetic words penned in the book of Jeremiah. When exploring the possible reasons behind the drying up of the Euphrates, it's hard to ignore the stark relevance of two particular biblical passages that prophesy this very phenomenon. In this segment, we'll delve into the first of these prophecies, nestled within Jeremiah 50:38. Jeremiah, often referred to as the weeping prophet, was commissioned by God to deliver messages not just of judgment, but also of hope. His prophecies are extensive, intertwining the fates of nations with the overarching purpose of God. Within the book of Jeremiah lies an extensive prophecy regarding Babylon. This great empire, which once seemed invincible with its majestic hanging gardens and massive walls, was foretold to face God's judgment. The prophecy touches upon several areas of impending retribution: the Babylonian officials, their wise men, their armies, and their treasures. But among these proclamations, a particular verse stands out. Jeremiah 50:38. A drought is upon her waters, and they shall be dried up. For it is the land of graven images, and they are mad upon their idols. Here the waters being referenced are none other than the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. With the recent developments along the Euphrates, the pressing question emerges: are we witnessing the actualization of Jeremiah's prophecy? This is where interpretation comes into play, and scholars and theologians have divergent views on this matter. Here are some of the prevailing interpretations. Interpretation 1. Historical fulfillment. Some believe that Jeremiah's prophecy was fulfilled in history when the Medes and Persians conquered Babylon. It's said that the Persian king Cyrus diverted the waters of the Euphrates to march his army into the city. In this view, the drying up of the river was a temporary tactical move and not an environmental phenomenon. Interpretation 2. Symbolic interpretation. Others contend that the drying up of the waters is symbolic of the diminishing power and influence of Babylon. In biblical literature, waters often represent peoples or multitudes. Therefore, drying waters might signify the weakening or decline of a nation. Interpretation 3. A literal future fulfillment. This perspective holds that the prophecy has a future fulfillment, which we might be witnessing now. As we see the waters of the Euphrates receding and revealing ancient relics, some argue that this is a sign of the times, a direct manifestation of Jeremiah's words. Interpretation 4. A dual fulfillment. Some scholars propose that prophecies can have both a historical and a future fulfillment. They argue that while the prophecy might have been partially fulfilled during Cyrus's time, its complete realization is unfolding in our era. As we reflect on these interpretations, it's crucial to approach the subject with humility and discernment. Prophecies are complex, often layered with meaning, and it requires wisdom to navigate their depths. What's undeniable, however, is the Euphrates' immense significance in biblical prophecy, and how its current state has rekindled interest and discussions around ancient prophecies. In the next chapter of this series, we'll explore the second biblical passage that mentions the drying up of the Euphrates, further deepening our understanding of this river's prophetic role in history and our times. Chapter 2: The Euphrates and the End Times Prophecy of Revelation. When unraveling the mysteries of biblical prophecies, the book of Revelation, with its rich tapestry of imagery and foretellings, stands as a paramount source of intrigue and reflection. As we look deeper into the prophecies surrounding the Euphrates River, our journey takes us to this apocalyptic scripture and its detailed account of the world's end. The 7 bowl judgments mentioned in Revelation serve as the climax of the escalating tribulation events, following the 7 seals and 7 trumpets. These judgments spell unparalleled calamities upon the earth. The 6th of these bowl judgments, as detailed in Revelation 16:12, delivers an especially startling declaration. The 6th angel poured out his bowl on the great river Euphrates, and its water was dried up to prepare the way for the kings from the east. This is not merely an environmental anomaly, but a preparatory move for a massive army from the east to cross the river without hindrance. The prophecy subsequently leads us to an epoch-making event, the gathering at Armageddon. With the kings of the world converging upon this legendary battlefield, the stage is set for a climactic confrontation. Following this gathering, Jesus Christ returns, heralding a battle in which all adversaries of God meet their doom. It's compelling to think that the drying up of the Euphrates is instrumental in orchestrating the events leading to Armageddon. However, one might ponder, are the current transformations of the Euphrates a direct harbinger of this impending apocalypse? A closer scrutiny reveals important distinctions. Firstly, it is important to take into account the timing of the tribulation. The 6th bowl judgment is slated for the tail end of the tribulation. Prior to this, the world will witness the ascent of the Antichrist, the ministry of the 2 witnesses, and an array of formidable judgments. None of these have materialized, indicating that we aren't in the throes of the tribulation just yet. Purpose of the drying. The prophecy explicitly states that the drying of the Euphrates is to facilitate the westward march of an army. The drying is purposeful and strategic. Given these distinctions, while the current diminishing of the Euphrates is undoubtedly happening, it may not be the exact fulfillment of Revelation's prophecy. Instead, it could be construed as a foreshadowing, a gentle nudge from the tapestry of time, signaling that we're edging closer to the end times narrative, catching our attention, telling us that we are moving closer and closer to the events of the book of Revelation. Like the setting sun, casting long shadows before dusk, the evolving state of the Euphrates could be nature's echo of a distant drumbeat, growing ever louder, heralding the profound events foretold in Scripture, pushing us closer to this day of Armageddon. Chapter 3: The Euphrates, Armageddon, and the Triumph of Christ. The Euphrates River, with its historical richness and biblical significance, stands as a beacon heralding some of the most consequential events prophesied in Scripture. Its anticipated drying up is more than just an environmental anomaly. It signifies a preparation for a momentous clash, a battle foretold for ages, the Battle of Armageddon. Armageddon, derived from the Hebrew Har Megiddo, refers to the hill or city of Megiddo in modern-day Israel. While the area has witnessed numerous historical battles, none compare to what Revelation predicts. This battle is not just a geopolitical skirmish, but a cosmic confrontation, a culmination of the battle between good and evil that has raged since time began. At the center of this prophetic whirlwind stands the Euphrates River. By drying up, it becomes a highway for the kings from the east and other nations to gather for battle. In essence, the Euphrates transformation acts as the last cosmic call, gathering the world's forces for an ultimate showdown. But who will participate in this battle? On one side, there will be the beast, or the Antichrist, the false prophet, and their armies joined by the kings of the earth. Their forces, vast and imposing, will converge upon the plains of Megiddo with a unified intent to defy the sovereign rule of God and establish their dominion. However, they will not be unopposed. Descending from the heavens will be none other than Jesus Christ, the King of Kings and the Lord of Lords, riding a white horse and leading the armies of heaven. His appearance won't be that of the humble carpenter of Nazareth, but of the radiant and majestic conqueror, his eyes blazing like fire, ready to mete out justice and establish his eternal kingdom. As intense and formidable as the Battle of Armageddon might appear, its outcome is never in doubt. The beast and the false prophet, despite their temporary reign of terror, will be swiftly defeated and cast into the lake of fire. The enemy forces, in all their might and number, will be vanquished by the sheer word of Christ. Such is the power of the Lord. He need not even lift a physical sword. His voice, resolute and authoritative, will dismantle every rebellion and opposition. In this grand narrative of prophecy and fulfillment, what emerges most brilliantly is the unassailable sovereignty of Jesus Christ. While empires rise and fall, and rivers like the Euphrates ebb and flow, the Lord's dominion remains unshaken. The Battle of Armageddon, as cataclysmic as it may be, serves as a testament to Christ's ultimate victory over sin, death, and every force that dares to oppose his throne. As we reflect upon the impending events and the role of the Euphrates in end times prophecies, let us find solace and hope in the surety of Christ's triumph. The world may change, landscapes may transform, but the steadfast love and victory of Jesus Christ are eternal. In him, we find an anchor for our souls, a beacon in the darkest storm. Let us exalt him, for he is worthy of all praise, honor, and glory, both now and forevermore.